Welcome back to the 215. We have a great producer over at Fox. Her name is Shanida. She has this adorable little daughter named Trinity, and Trinity likes to travel all over the Delaware Valley. She joins her brother this time over at the Franklin Institute.
We went to the Franklin Institute.
Even though it's all scientific, kids can still have fun and learn in a playful way. We saw something called the Amazing Machines, and when we walked in, there were so many different factors and so many different things you can learn in there. There was one machine where you'd put a plug-in that had air, and it shows the air and how much force it's putting on the object, and shows how much you can move it. There's this tile thing that you can play with, and you have to like make a line. Oh, it was a chain. Haha. And what you have to do is you make a chain. It all just has to connect with each other. So for example, I did like a few squares up and down, and then it connected to the other side. When I walked into the sport zone, there were so many different things you can do. And one of the favorite things that I like to do in there was the track zone, because they would record how fast you run. And the best part, you can play with other people, like how I raced with Christian. And let me tell you, it's so much fun to race other people. And then one that I absolutely loved was the surfing, because when I went to the surfboard, you have to like try and hold your balance, and balance is a big part of sports. My favorite part was Brainworks, because the Brainworks had so many different things that you could try out. And there was one part that I really liked, where when you walk in the room, one person sits on the bed, actually lays down on the bed, and the other person stands in the corner. And it sort of has this effect to make it look like the place is upside down. The little playground that they had, it kind of acted like the brain, and like all the brain cells were working. So you would see a bunch of wires, and then there would be these little pads, which would be the brain cells. And then the room would be very dark, and they would be making sound effects as if the neurons in the brain were actually moving around in the playground. I would recommend going to the Franklin Institute because it has so many scientific factors that you can play around with. And while having fun, it also teaches you about the different parts of your body, different machines, how everything works in the world. And it's just really inspiring.
We love the Franklin Institute.
I'll tell you what, we ought to have Trinity co-host this show one time, okay?